Okay, so today I want to talk about how can we support our adolescent girls in the phase they are in now, developing, becoming women. How can we support them? How can we help them with the hormonal changes and some issues they might have? How can we set them up for a healthy life as a woman and taking care of themselves, of course, with natural approaches and medicinal herbs? So let's dig into the weeds. Okay, so our adolescent girls that are developing, becoming women, their bodies are changing, many hormonal changes. I'm a midwife and an herbalist, so I'm going to give you some tips in this direction of hormonal health and natural health in general. How can we support our young girls in this phase? And yeah, what are some common issues? I mean, of course, it is always better to look individually, and of course, we're all different, and our girls have different issues, and maybe they have some minor health problems or issues. Maybe they have occasional headaches or period cramps, PMS, things like that. So of course we have to see and evaluate what is the situation. But in this video, because of course I'm addressing this to the general public, so let's look at some very general things that are safe to take and that are also principally for prevention. So we're not exactly looking at treating individual issues, but more like in a general sense, what are common issues in this phase? Our girls that are 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 that are in this phase, what are the common issues that are dealing with? I mean, sometimes like the first period and having the first couple of years of periods, the body is still adapting, and some cramps and period pain is common, or PMS and other symptoms, weight gain and things like that. So there are herbs that can do a lot of prevention in that direction, that it even, that those things even come to happen, but they might already be manifest, and that's, practically the same things we can use to help our girls. Of course, diet is a very big factor in this age. I mean, our girls, they're going to tell us, Mommy, I'm hungry all the time. Of course, they are growing and they need good food, and it depends a lot on the diet, of course, and also the stressful life. I mean, our girls, they are already full on in this world, and they are studying and they have a tight schedule, so they already get their good share of stress. And it's basically the same issues that we as older women are dealing with, just in a different phase of life, and the body is growing and changing. So it's a pretty big challenge. So in terms of diet, if a girl is on a vegan or vegetarian diet since a while, we have to always consider, would it be good to supplement some B12? Should we look at the iron? It's always better to test the iron and to actually see, is the iron low or high? But young girls are a risk group for iron deficiency. So if your daughter has issues that she's tired or lack of concentration, or she gets a lot of cold and flu and other infectious diseases very often, then her immunity is low and she might benefit from some iron as well as the B12. We could also give a general B complex, which is good for brain and memory and concentration, or just a general multivitamin, so they get just a range of nutrients in a low dose. I mean, most multivitamins, in my opinion, are very low dose, so I wouldn't hesitate to just give a normal standard adult dose of a multivitamin to a young girl. I mean, we have to look at it. In general, the dose, of course, would be lower. Usually half the dose of an adult dose would work. It's based on body weight. But our girls, when they are like from 15 on, they are already considered adults. So it would be more or less the same dose. And for adults, I usually need way higher doses. I need a way higher concentrated B complex or something. So the normal supplements that you will find, they are not so high dose anyway. So I think you don't have to worry about that. Of course, it depends on the individual product. I cannot speak for all the products out there, but what I see in my practice is that for adults, I have to search for really good supplements of a bit higher dose, or maybe they'd have to even take more than one tablet a day. So for our young girls, one tablet of a standard kind of multivitamin, multi-mineral supplement should be enough. Magnesium is another big thing. So magnesium can help with many issues, from PMS or headaches or period cramps, or any pain issue, any hormonal issue, any immune issue. I mean, magnesium has so many functions in the body, so it gets everything better, honestly. So the magnesium would be in many cases very beneficial. Yeah, also an omega-3 supplement is something that is, yeah, we can consider it. It helps with the growth of the brain and the nerve function, memory, and our girls, they study a lot, they learn a lot. So yeah, also the omega-3, not only for the brain, it also has a benefit for hormonal function, for immune function. So those are very general things that are good for everybody. We also get our girls set up, you know, to take care of themselves. So taking a supplement or an herb or something regularly is not a new thing when they are later in their life. You know, we all know they're going to be in their mid-20s, they're going to be in their mid-30s, and the health concerns might arise that make it necessary to take some type of supplement or herbs. So this will not be a new thing for them. They have already learned how to take care of them, to take their supplements regularly, to take their herbs. They know how to prepare tea. They know, different ways of preparation for herbs. So I think we can also set the stage for later in their lives, set the habits and regular health habits that are going to be beneficial for our young girls. So for example, in India, they have two very general herbs that they would give to men and women. Like for men, it would be more ashwagandha, and for women, shatavari for hormonal balance. But those are those two herbs, yeah, one more female-oriented, one more male-oriented, but it doesn't mean that ashwagandha is not also good for women. But the shatavari definitely is more important for women than for men. But both can be taken by both genders, of course. So these would be two herbs that women and men starting from puberty would take regularly, low doses for the rest of their life. Yes, exactly, you heard right. So we would take low doses of an herb, just a couple of grams, or maybe 1, 2, 3 grams, 5 grams every day, to keep the health, to keep everything healthy and everything functioning and working properly. So this is more for prevention. Yeah, if you want to work with shatavari or ashwagandha to treat a certain condition, we can work with higher doses. But in this phase, our young girls, of course, they are also more receptive to the herbs. So it's not only the body weight that a dose of an herb is based on, it's actually also the age of the person. So our children, even if they're 15, they are physically almost pretty much developed or have almost the same weight as an adult already. Probably lower doses will do more than for a 25-year-old woman with the same weight. Yeah, so based on the age, we can start with lower doses and see what they do, and we're going to get a big benefit because we can start our girls early on this preventative medicines. You know, when I treat like older women in their 30s and 40s, they have never taken any herbs to take care of their health, or not regularly, or not the right herbs, then I need 20 grams of shatavari or 25 daily to get a benefit and to treat a certain condition. And with our young girls, you know, just a teaspoon or two, those herbs, they come into a powder form. I'm going to show you this here. So this is very easy to use. I mean, swallowing capsules is also a skill worth learning in this phase. So maybe we can teach this to our daughters, that also swallowing a capsule is not the end of the world, and they can learn it. And, you know, sometimes those capsules are actually easier to swallow than tablets. It depends, you know, but we can, yeah, just teach them how to take them comfortably, to take them with food and with some liquid. With hot tea, it goes down better than with cold beverages. Or with something that contains some fat. Yeah, if you put some plant milk in your tea, it also goes down better. So we can teach them with small doses to take just a multivitamin supplement every day or something like that. But you could also work just with the herbs, of course. So we have shatavari. It's just a powder. It's the root of the plant, shatavari, and it's just the ground up powdered root. It looks something like that, just a pale color of a powder. It doesn't have like a strong taste, so that's why I like it a lot, and I work with it a lot, because it's easy to convince people to take it. And even if we need higher doses, it's not an herb that is very bitter or very strong. So you could just make one like kind of a hot beverage, like a plant milk or even real milk or something, or a smoothie or something, and stir this powder in. So a good dose for everyday prevention for a young girl is like a full heaping teaspoon. It could easily be 2, honestly, but start with less, you know, start with half a teaspoon, get gradually used to the taste. I mean, there's not gonna be a very strong taste. If you put it in a smoothie or something sweet, you're not going to feel anything. Yeah, but shatavari is the traditional great women's herb in Ayurveda and is used widely in India in this way for prevention. You take it a couple of grams a day early on, from puberty on. You would not take these herbs these herbs that I mentioned, ashwagandha and shatavari, before puberty, because they have a hormonal action on the body. They could bring the puberty on even earlier in this case. So we don't give this to children, but we give it from adolescence on. It's no problem. That's the way it is taken in Ayurveda. And of course, it's better, you know, you take your teaspoon of shatavari from puberty on, and you prevent all the other hormonal problems and down the road that might arise. You're not going to have the PMS. You're not going to have the headaches or the immune dysfunction or whatever. It just keeps everything smoothly functioning. And I think it's a great gift that we can make to our girls now in this phase of life, that we teach them how to take care of themselves and how to take their herbs regularly. So look into some supplements, as I said, the omega, maybe multivitamin, the iron. Just look into it if this is an option, what particular problems and issues are arising, the stress, concentration, fatigue, headache, PMS, period cramps. All these are issues that are typical for this age of our young girls, and we want to help them, because those issues normally, sometimes they level out and they disappear, but sometimes they also get gradually worse, because of course we have all a stressful life. Women's bodies, we are a bit, you know, the canary in the coal mine a little bit. So our bodies, with all the cycles and all the hormonal changes during the month and during our whole life, yeah, this is a bit of vulnerability that we have. So many don't know this, but actually even some issues that are not strictly hormonally based, or they don't have their root cause in anything reduced to the reproductive organs, they're more common in women than men. A lot of autoimmune issues or fatigue or migraines, and many of these issues are more common in women than in men. So I think we have to support our girls early and help them and set them up for a life that is healthy and without those health complaints that can come later in life. So that's a good time to start in puberty and help our girls. I would love to set up a little workshop, so if you're interested to participate, so we can go a bit deeper into these kinds of issues, please hop over to my website. It's herbalhelp.net, and get on my mailing list or write me an email so we can be in touch about this. I would like to work with a small group of women about this subject and like really plan out the whole protocol we would give to our young girls and adapt it to the individual girls. There's much more to say about this. You know, we can help the digestion with digestive herbs. There are many ideas and concepts from Ayurveda, from traditional Chinese medicine and Western herbalism, from modern phytotherapy. We can draw from all those sources. This is what I use in my work and what I work with usually. And yeah, we can give this gift to our girls to grow up with these concepts early on, so they create the healthy habits. Okay, so leave me a comment, like this video. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Ciao.